Let's go back and talk a little bit about the entrepreneur programs and what's taking place in Melbourne. We see entrepreneurship everywhere today. We have the people coming out of the universities, undergrad level. We have certainly a tremendous outflow from the graduate programs going right into taking entrepreneurship courses and then having their business plan ready to go. And then we're seeing this mid-tier 10 to 15 years into the corporate world, people coming out of that world using their domain experience and their management experience to build a new company. How does this gel, or how does this line up with what's going on in Melbourne and Australia in general?
Well, entrepreneurship is certainly on the rise. Entrepreneurship is the fashion, if you will, or the fad. But I think it's also productive, and I think it's a natural reality. Every economy in the world has recognised that early stage, high growth companies are how they're going to expand their economies. There are all those famous studies about how many jobs are created, net job growth being from these companies. And that's true to a greater or lesser extent everywhere. So it is happening in Australia a lot. Australia is still a very affluent country. We were pretty much the only developed economy that didn't have a recession as a result of 2008. But equally, as a small country, we're very dependent on the economies of our trading partners. And that means big business is very easily affected by a cutback in the Chinese economy or slowing down in the Asian economies. And of course, as anyone who's watched the news would know, our economy is very heavily influenced by the resource sector. So we're very good at digging stuff out of the ground and selling it to other people. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't give you step change in your economic performance, doesn't give you growth, and it doesn't satisfy a lot of people because we do it very efficiently. So we employ relatively few people and we use a lot of technology. So we have massive trucks as big as this building that we're in that are being driven around the mines by people sitting at a desk 5,000 kilometres away.
Sounds like all those games that kids played going through university has come back to now be a job skill.
Well, that's right. It has. It's I mean, in a less favourable way, it's a little bit like the pilots of the drones in the Middle East sitting somewhere at a fort in the middle of the United States. Mm-hmm. But it's about adopting and adapting the technology to the needs. So in Australia, we're seeing substantial growth in interest and activity in entrepreneurial activities. Sydney has been rated as one of the top 3 places in the world for entrepreneurial activity. And certainly traditionally in Australia, Melbourne has been the focus by value and volume of venture capital investment in the country. Mm-hmm. So it's all been there for a while. What we're seeing now is a substantial growth in the digital economy. And because it's so low cost to get into digital ventures, of course, a lot of people are trying their hand. From an investor's point of view, as I'm sure you're aware, the challenge there is most of them are consumer focused. They're mostly not that well thought through. So they're at best a successful flash in the pan and at worst a failure. And there's nothing wrong with failure. Hopefully you learn and you try again. And again, the cheapness of these businesses means people can. Mm-hmm. So it's not uncommon to meet people who are saying, this is my 5th or 6th app business. I don't know that I'd say it's their 5th or 6th business, but it's their 5th or 6th effort to find a product or a service that they think they can actually make money out of.
Despite you being a long distance away in Australia, your program, your processing of requests to give of submissions from entrepreneurs, the evaluation, screening, dinner meeting, investment placement, and due diligence, very similar to what we do here in the U.S.
It is. There's the member-led angel group phenomenon operates in Australia and New Zealand, the US, Canada, and Scotland. Mm. You'll find similar groups in other countries, but as a whole community, we find that's really the spread. So we often joke that the people with the most in common are the ones who live the furthest away. But because when we look at Europe, and a lot of Asia is following Europe, which is traditionally what they've done anyway, they have more of the facilitated business network model that the Europeans follow. Mm-hmm.